Hi guys, welcome to Weekend Movie Channel, and this is the second part of the best thrillers released in 2023. We hope that this video will be useful and everyone will find something new to watch. And if you have already seen everything, then follow the links in the description to other parts of this collection. Let's not waste any time and begin! Cocaine Bear. A plane carrying smuggled cocaine flies over Georgia State Preserve. In order not to be caught by the police, the dealer throws bags of goods into the forest. In the morning, two kids who had run away from school, two criminals looking for contraband, and the kid's mother who found out about their absence move towards the reserve. But before anyone else, the bear will get to cocaine, which will get stoned with the drugs found and then fly off the coils. Everyone who ended up in this reserve now will have one task: to get out of there alive. The film is not based on real events, but it's still inspired by a crazy story happened in 1985 when a real dealer dropped real cocaine from a plane and the contraband was eaten by a real bear. The bear immediately died after that. The comedic trash thriller came out extremely simple, with a lot of absurd and cruel moments. This is what the audience needed. We think the film is still amateur, but it's worth a try to watch. 7th place, Cocaine Bear. Inside. A professional robber breaks into the apartment of a wealthy artist. Everything goes according to plan until a failure occurs in the smart home system, and the apartment locks the unlucky thief tightly within its walls. Accomplices leave him, and now he will have to not only find a way to get out, but also try to survive. A survival thriller, but not as adrenaline-pumping as it might seem. It is a slow, meditative, and eminently contemplative film. It is interesting to watch what is happening, but only if you are into the right mood. All the same, the pace and events in the film are not so much addictive. The main advantage of this movie is William Dafoe. You can watch it if you're good at unhurried authors' films. 6th place, Inside. Superposition. Stein and Tate, a married couple from Copenhagen, take their young son and dog into the wilderness of Swedish forest. They plan to spend a whole year away from people. No internet, no phones, no neighbors. During this time, Stein hopes to complete his novel, and Tate plans to record a podcast about their life in isolation. A married couple, counting on complete solitude, begins to notice suspicious activity on the other side of the lake, which doesn't pose a direct threat, gives some cause for concern. The film combines psychological thriller and drama. Elements of fantasy appear here, which brings dark intrigue and captivate the viewer. Thanks to this mystical component, the movie holds attention until the last minute and even provokes the viewer to think about their own identity and attitude towards people who are nearby. An action-packed thriller that's worth watching. 5th place, Superposition. Nefarious. Young psychiatrist James Martin arrives in the country jail to conduct a psychiatric evaluation of serial killer Edward Brandy. It depends on James' decision whether Brandy will be executed that evening or whether his insanity will save him from his fate. The Wonder warns James that Brandy is a master manipulator who wants more than anything to survive, and James is sure that he is ready for their conversation. But Edward suddenly declares that he is not Edward at all, but a demon named Nefarious. And his goal is straight the opposite, is to do everything so that Edward will be executed. A chamber thriller in which most of action takes place in one room. The two main characters are having a conversation based on provocative questions. The film is not dynamic, but still captivating. There is intrigue, suspense, and a creepy atmosphere. All this is possible thanks to well-written characters and their dialogues. This movie is not for everyone, and first of all, lovers of conversational genre will like it. 4th place, Nefarious. Knock at the Cabin. A married couple with a child are resting in a secluded house in the middle of the forest. Suddenly, 4 strange people appear in the threshold, led by Leonard, who is knocking on the door more instantly. The strangers came with an important mission. According to them, the apocalypse is approaching the world, and in order to save humanity, a voluntary sacrifice is needed. This means that the family will have to decide which of them must die, so that the human race can survive the Day of Judgment. The film is great at pumping a suspense with the sense of impending disaster, and the interaction of characters faced to be locked up with dangerous guests. and also thanks to the well-written dialogues and action. There are only 7 characters in the film, and each character is at least somehow remembered. And also, the logic of the decision of each of the characters is written not only consistently, but also quite plausibly. The film is original, dynamic, captures literally from the opening scene, and doesn't lose tension until the very end. Third place, Knock at the Cabin. The Beasts. The French couple Anthony and Olga moved to the northern region of Spain 2 years ago. They live in the countryside, grow tomatoes, and restore abandoned houses. They repair them not for their own enrichment, but to attract downshifters and save the dying settlement. The end of quiet life comes after Anthony refuses to sell to the energy company a site for their installation of wind turbines. His decision causes dissatisfaction not only with the corporation, but with the neighbors, the Enter brothers, who are tired of living in poverty. They begin to persecute Anthony and Olga, waiting to drive them out of their land. The author's heartbreaking thriller, which first of all will be appreciated by those viewers who are not indifferent to chamber films about crimes, with gradually increasing tension and not letting go until the very end. This movie has successfully passed through film festivals and also has good ratings on movie resources. Creepy, heavy, but at the same time, an important movie. Second place, The Beasts. To Catch a Killer. New Year's Eve Baltimore is gripped by fear. An unknown shooter kills people to the sound of festival fireworks. Politicians are nervous, panic is growing on the streets, and FBI is urgently involved in the case, in the person of Agent Lamarck. In his team, Lamarck includes Eleanor Falco, a local police officer who happened to be near the scene of the attack and showed remarkable ingenuity in the first minutes after the massacre. She's a talented but deeply traumatized. Eleanor will have to use her whole experience to find out and stop a sniper who chooses victims without any apparent logic. A strong movie for fans of good old police detective thrillers about the search of dangerous maniac. This movie also combines elements of political thriller, focusing on the actions of the law enforcement system, or rather on the monstrous bureaucracy and window dressing that accompanies any high-profile investigation. One of the best detectives of recent years, definitely worth watching. First place, To Catch a Killer. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. Share your movie impressions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and put the big thumbs up. See you. Bye.